Haikyuu episode 4 was pretty epic, to say the least. So in this video, I'll be reviewing episode 4 of Haikyuu season 4. And I know I haven't reviewed last week's episode, and my reason is that I didn't feel last week's episode had anything to talk about. I'm getting good at making excuses, but honestly, the reason is that I have a life. Yes, I know it is very surprising. Some of you may think that I just sit in a cave the whole day and just edit my videos, and to an extent, that is kinda true. And before we begin with the video, why not smash that like button? Because every subscription puts a smile on my ugly face. The episode starts off by showing us a clip of the previous episode. If you guys didn't know, last week's episode ended on a cliffhanger. Basically, Tsukishima told Hinata to come with him, and that left me wondering, what will Suki do? Will he offer Hinata drugs? Or will he steal Hinata's lunch money? Or even worse, will he say the D word? Damn. But it just turns out that he wanted to practice. After that, they finally show us Kageyama at his training camp. I honestly thought that last week's episode will cover Kageyama, but sadly it didn't. Fortunately, this week it did. In Kageyama's scene, we didn't get anything special, but one character that stood out was the masked dude. And I was just about to make a joke that he is well prepared for the coronavirus, but it turns out that a lot of people have used that joke already. The next thing they show us is the coaches of Shuritorizawa interacting. I really don't know their names, so I'll just call them 4 Eyes number 1 and 4 Eyes number 2. And according to my calculations, if I add the X minus the Y over at X and stuff, and then math, I got it. They have a total of 8 eyes. They were just basically talking about the boomer from Shuritorizawa and how he has been acting weird lately. This might tell us that we will see a huge change in Tanji. After that, they basically went back and forth between Hinata and Kageyama. And as I mentioned in my previous video, one character that I really would like to know about more is White. If you guys don't know White, it's this guy. I just can't pronounce his name in Japanese. A lot of people mentioned in the comment section down below that I got his personality spot on. And I can't believe it, for the first time, I am actually right. But in this episode, I felt like the animation was a bit lacking, and I am not the only one. A lot of people voiced their concerns online. The animation seemed clunky to me. Not all of the time, of course, but it just seemed slower compared to the previous seasons. It seemed as if they were just trying to extend the episode, and the impact of the players hitting the ball isn't present in season 4. Usually they just cut off the part when the player is hitting the ball, and in my opinion, this makes the matches lose their magic. The animation itself wasn't bad, but at times the characters themselves just looked weird. And my favorite part is when Hinata was basically hyping up Hiyukazawa. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this name. Hiyukazawa has the natural ability to play volleyball, but he doesn't have the amount of skills required to play with the other players. Probably the reason Tanji chose him in the first place was just because of his height. But you see, Hiyukazawa didn't feel he was worthy to be here, and he accidentally said that Hinata should have been in his place, and according to him, he is just 2 meters tall. But Hinata being Hinata, he admires his height, and he basically hypes him up without him even knowing. Hinata is sort of a ball of sunshine. He can really bring a team / players together just because of his enthusiasm. And Hinata sort of reminds me of this Overwatch player called Mickey. I don't know if they still play to this day, but I remember 2 to 3 years back, I was heavily invested in Overwatch, at least in the competitive scene. Basically, there was this player called Mickey. He was in this team called Dallas Fuel, and this team wasn't doing that good. But Mickey was the only player that had a smile on his face, and in every match he just seemed to lift up the spirits of the Dallas Fuel. And Hinata sort of reminds me of him. And this scene just made my day. The moral of this episode is just relax. You don't need to be tense all the time, because that might ruin your rhythm. Just like how Hiyukazawa overcame this obstacle himself in this episode. So that will wrap up the video. I am really excited for next week's episode. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. So anyways, my name is Soap, and I'll see you in another video. Do you like anime? Do you like soap? Do you like Zenitsu? Why not join the most epic Discord server in the world? Join it now, link in the description. ليست الوحوش